Hey everyone, I want to talk about freedom of all things. It seems like a timely subject these days, and a lot of us are locked up in the prisons of our own mind. And this morning, I'm here in Thailand. I want to welcome you to another uh, short webinar uh, about freedom, travel, and making money. So earlier this morning here in Thailand, I was thinking, the thought just occurred to me. I wasn't really thinking, but it just came full on. And that thought, that energy, it was like a real fast, strong realization that when we are out and busy and doing things and moving, and we're not sitting at our computer all day, and that we're not on our phones all day, and that we engage in life and leave some of the noise behind. We do not, and we probably must not be involved in everything that's going on around us. We usually have so much of our own things at home that we can tend to and improve. However, there are times when we do need to look outside and see what's going on to make sure that it's not going to affect us, our family, our friends, uh, in a less than useful way. If it is, what can we do about it? What can we do about it in the moment? And if there is anything we can do, we should do that. And if there is nothing we can do at the moment, we should let that thought, those challenges sit in the back of our minds. And I found this a very powerful solution, that when we think and think and think and think and think and try to find a solution for this, a solution for that, a solution for this, it's almost impossible. I mean, we can get really stressed out. And I know at one point I was trying to find a solution for one thing for 3 weeks. It was like a worry. And it was many years ago. Actually, it was many decades ago, several decades ago. And when I first started business, I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And the matter of the fact, I thought so hard that I forgot about it. And a solution was totally handled by the universe or God or whomever, but it was already done by somebody else. And I had spent all that time engaged, and I wasted my time. But it really wasn't, because it was a lesson. So none of our time is truly wasted unless we are wasting it, right? I mean, it's all this learning curve. And even if you get into the wasting of time, at one point, if you realize, at one point when you realize that, wow, I got to shift. And that's it. That's the realization. Sometimes we must go down that hole to find out that we don't belong there, and that there's so much other that we can do. So back to the freedom aspect of living and life. And so many of us have this invisible prison. I can't do this. Oh, I wish I could do this. And I really always thought about this, but now I really can't do it because the price of gas or inflation or some other idle reason. When we look back through time, I was having a discussion with a very long-term customer and client this morning, and he's got some challenges, health challenges, and he's had them for a very long time. But that doesn't stop him from being productive and working on his projects and making money. Uh, and we had this discussion that nothing is going to stop you. And he kept on saying, well, I hope this, I hope that. And I said, let's turn that around, and let's turn that hope. Let's not talk hope. Let's demand the universe work for us. let's demand God show up and do what he's here to do for us, or she is here to do for us. Like, put here, we showed up here magically on this planet. And where there is the higher power, God, or the universe, whichever you choose, that they owe you. And demand the best to happen, because it will. Don't hope. Why should we hope? Why don't we just expect the best to happen, and it will? So I had this conversation. I said, let's stop using the word hope. And by the end, I mean, this conversation was for 59 minutes and probably 35 seconds. And we had this very long, good conversation. And I had last called him maybe a year and a half ago, and he was not well. Couldn't have a chuckle, but this time around he was laughing and chuckling and on a higher level. And he found some solutions. And I said, yeah, it's all about the solution. So you focus on that. He says, yeah, I can gain like 10% a week. And he says, I talked about dancing. I said, I really love to dance because it's that energetic spirit from deep within. And we all need that. We need to find that, locate that, use that, and live into our life. Summertimes these days, when they had all this lockdown stuff going on, I'm thinking, let's go outside and put the Bluetooth speakers, the big one, outside and get people dancing in the streets. On your block, on your housing complex, wherever you are, turn it on, turn it up, and live life. So this leads totally into a life of freedom, which can say, I have sculpted my life. I had made a choice a long time ago. I had to change the way I was earning money, but change the form of it. I worked on merchant ships, and I asked the question, how can I leave these merchant ships? Because the way they powered them changed, and I was in charge of the power, essentially, running those ships. And I didn't like the way I was going from steam physics and operating engineer to a mechanic. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. Toxic chemicals, all kinds of stuff. The whole game changed. I said, I'm out of here. 6 figures. I said, I'm quitting. But I asked the simple question, how can I travel and continue? How can I continue to travel? Because I had been to 46 countries at that point and make good money. So I ended up in the jewelry business, small, compact, easy. And then I realized, I did have some retail stores, and I closed those because I didn't want to sit around. I wanted to get out and have freedom. So I did close those. And in the interim, I was in Key West, Florida, and there was a flea market up the Keys in Big Pine Key. And I had some inventory. I said, let me go up there. Let me try it out. I just started the jewelry, and I'm like, wow, I found 3 wholesale customers. Then I sold a lot of jewelry. I didn't know what to expect, quite frankly. I rented a table, it cost $5. I showed up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I left at 1 o'clock. I made like close to $500, met 3 people from different parts of the country, and 2 of them became wholesalers. Or wholesale buyers, and the rest is history. So I continued on to doing, I didn't write down here flea markets, fairs, festivals, and events, but there are some nice upscale flea markets you can go to. Call them what you will, but they're all fairs, festivals, and events where people get together with a festive attitude, like checking out life. What's new? Is there much new? Yes, there is. And there's a lot of people who have retired early or who've changed their lifestyle. They're moving, they're on the move. And the one thing is the motorhomes and trailers, travel trailers. The sales in the end of 2020 and into 2021, I mean, there was a shortage for a while. and people got on the road. Now they're on the road, and if you're retired early, and you may need some income, extra income now because of inflation. It's temporary, but there's inflation. We've had it before, we have it again, and that's life. We had high fuel prices before, we have it again. So what do we do in the interim? We find solutions and cover those costs in simple ways, in fun ways, and enjoyable ways. So one way is to travel to fairs, festivals, and events. You set up a simple table. The cost can be from $10 to $10,000, depending on how long the fair and the festival is, right? I mean, some are really important, hard to get into, but you make a lot of money. And some are not as expensive, and you can still make good money. Today, I haven't been out on the road personally myself. I'm not willing to hop on planes international and do all this stuff because it took me 5 flights to get back to Thailand. So I want to make sure the coast is clear. However, I got a lot of feedback from Peter Stone customers and clients, and I couldn't say anything about fairs and festivals because I didn't have any firsthand information, but I do today, 2022, from just a couple of weeks ago. For 4 weeks, this one gentleman, he didn't have the help. He had a pretty big booth, and he and his daughter. See, this is it. You can go with your family. You can go with your friends. And the thing about doing fairs and festivals, like if you have a hobby or if you have a passion, like Renaissance fairs or Scottish Highland fairs, or if you go to New Age trade fairs, healing, Reiki, aromatherapy, all of those things, kitty cats and dog shows, right? Well, Peter Stone has 43 different niche markets to choose from. So you can pick and choose. But the real upside to that is that you're with people that are like-minded. So you add the fun to it. You have finance and you're making money on the road, rubbing shoulders with people, like you want to hang out with. And that's really important in life, especially today. I think it's always been important, and that's what I've always done. But some people believe that they have to do this thing to earn the money, and they don't like doing that thing. And I don't know how many people are here that actually do that. And I'm going to be talking more about this opportunity to get out. I mean, your own opportunity, get out and do fairs and festivals. And yes, they are crowded. They're not as crowded as they used to be because some people are fearful. But some people are bursting at the seams. They want to get out. They want their freedom back, and they're getting it. And they're going out and traveling and getting back to the fairs and festivals that they love so much. That's the nature in North America. It's the nature around the world. We love festivals. When I was driving through Europe with my wife and my daughter in 2009, we drove from England when we lived in England, took the Dover Ferry. So most people go out for the weekend. Oh, we're taking a weekend drive with the family. Yeah, we took a weekend drive. Okay, we had our estate wagon, hopped on the ferry on the white coasts of Dover, the white cliffs of Dover as it goes, took the ferry across, ended up in France, drove through Belgium into the Netherlands and onto the north of the Netherlands to a distributor we had there. We spent the night there, and then we went and met with a distributor. Had a great Dutch breakfast, new experience for my wife, for my daughter. I had already made the trip, but not to the distributors. Then we went on down to Germany, to Nuremberg, to another distributor. And we spent the night there and we had dinner out. And these are all the locals, right? They live there and they know the best places to go and they wanted to show it to us. And what a blast. So after that, we drove to Prague. And our distributor in Prague, he was a fencer and he was into the Celtic. He brought us to this only Celtic restaurant, maybe in all of Europe. There was a tree down the middle of it and this spiraling staircase, and this long tree was sliced up, was a table, all tables down in underground actually, and these old steel plates. I mean, it was really amazing. And we ate there. And then we spent the night and then we drove towards Poland. And on the way, there was a fair in the morning, like this ancient fair that's probably hundreds and hundreds of years old. We know it was in the Czech Republic. So we're going from Prague into Poland. This is like early in the morning, like 10 o'clock. And we walked down this festival and they were cooking and doing things traditionally that they have been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years. And what a treat, the way they made their pastries. I mean, it was the old way. And then as we moved down, it was really interesting. They had a carnival going, and there were German-made machines. And in Ocean City, Maryland, my daughter loved the carnival and the rides. And so you get for $5 1 minute ride. And when you went to the Czech Republic and we went to this fair, my daughter went on this spinner. I don't know the name of it. Really nice machine. And they're like, when are we going to get off? It went on for 5-6 minutes for $1. So it's very interesting. And then we left that fair and we were driving towards the border and over through the mountains into Poland. And there was a zip line. Early, it was so by now it's like probably a little afternoon, and there was fresh homemade ice cream shop there from the cows in the field. There was no one there early that part of the day, and then later a few people came. I asked my daughter, you want to go on the zip line? It was super long through the forests of the Czech Republic, out in the countryside. Oh, it was a blast. And then we drove into Poland. We were going to drive down to Italy, but we didn't. It was after a while, it became some time because we spent time in Poland. We spent time in all these places. 2 weeks passed. We were going to go see our distributor in Italy, but that was the next trip. So I just want to share a little story about how the freedom, you can bring your family, you can make money all along the way, all around the world, quite frankly. But that's what I did because I wanted to continue to travel. I had been to Holland by ship. I had been to Germany by ship, never Poland. England, I had been to by ship, and Scotland, Ireland, not Ireland, but Scotland and England. And the Netherlands, Germany, just amazing. So I did continue that journey. And then I was making money with having my family all along. And I just want to share that you make the decisions. Design your life at any level. It doesn't matter if you've been, doesn't matter the time frame of where you are living in your life. You get out and you decide, I'm going to make changes. I'm going to live. I'm going to really live and enjoy life and make my life festive and enjoy it. Please subscribe here. And if you're on Instagram, follow us. And you can sign up for a newsletter and find out more. This is Peter Stone, sharing fairs, festivals, and events to enjoy your lifestyle to the max. I'll see you.